This year I've penciled in 12 hat patterns I plan to knit, and today I'm walking you through each one. Hi, my name is Taylor, and today's video is doing two things at once. The first thing that it's doing is shamelessly introducing you to the Year of Hats knit along that I'm hosting over on the Patreon for the Wool Needles Hands channel. This is a fun, low pressure, and a cozy way to knit hats all throughout the year with a fantastic community of knitters. But more personally, this is also about why I've been genuinely feeling more inspired by hats lately. Hats are one item. They're something I genuinely enjoy wearing, and so many other folks enjoy wearing them as well, which means they're easy to gift. They're a minimal commitment in terms of size, and they're such a fantastic and accessible way to explore technique, cables, texture, color work, without committing to the scale of a sweater. And you only have to knit one. And I'll be completely honest, socks and mittens always throw me off a little because you have to complete two. Going into 2026, I want to have a no pressure year. I want to not have the pressure to always be knitting a new garment. I already have a couple of really fantastic sweaters on the needles. I don't need to worry about scouring the internet or Ravelry to try to find a fresh new sweater knitting pattern. But hats, they feel like a way to stay grounded each month. Many of the hats that I knit this year will be gifted. Some will stay with me, and all of them will feel like comfort knitting in the best sense. And because I'm doing it while also engaging in the community, it's a really great way to feel connected. Each of the hats mentioned here today were chosen by the folks over on Patreon as submissions. We had over 140 submissions that were then added to a wheel of names and chosen randomly. 12 chosen at random. One was subbed out because one was difficult to get a hold of. So all of these are chosen randomly, but ultimately the selections were from the members over on Patreon. So in the second sense, this video is also a pattern rundown because all 12 of these hats will fit the bill for someone at some point. For me, there are some really solid yeses in this list. There are also some solid maybes. And then there are some where I'm really feeling like yarn and mood is going to have to come in clutch. But my plan is to knit every single one regardless. If the hat's not for me, aesthetically, it's going to be for someone else. And remember, this isn't a hype list, it's not even a deep dive, it's a flyover. This should provide you with just enough information to decide whether any of these hats are worth taking a little extra time to pencil them into your own knitting year. I want to dive in, I'm ready to dive in. I am drinking some tea today. I have actually come to really love, I've had this before, and I'm just doing this just because I love sometimes sharing what tea I'm drinking, but this is actually by Celestial Seasonings. It's the Tension Tamer tea. I always know this tea because it's got this lady, like a fair maiden on a dragon. The tension, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what this reference is. It's very fantasy centric. Maybe it says on the box and I've never really taken the time. Whether or not this tames my tension, I have no idea, but I love the way it tastes. And I know there's probably some tea snobs out there that are like, what do you drink? What is this? I don't know. I don't care. I really enjoy this tea, so I shall drink it. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get started. Let's dive in. We are going to begin with January's hat. I am currently knitting it right now, and I just cast it onto a second. This is A Twisted Affair by Joji Locatelli. I am knitting this one, and I'm going to be talking more about this on the next update video, but I'm knitting this one for my niece. I cast it on to another one, like this. Isn't that beautiful? I'll talk more about the yarn pairing on the pattern update, project update, but this is A Twisted Affair by Joji Locatelli, and I absolutely love knitting this hat. A Twisted Affair is a bottom-up beanie with a ribbed brim and cables all over the body of the hat. It's richly textured and very focused knitting, repetitive in a satisfying way with a strong visual payoff. Okay, February's hat is one by Andrea Mowry that I've had my eyes on in the past. This hat has been around since 2017, which absolutely blows my mind. I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since this hat was released into the wild, and that is the Quill. Quill is a reversible textured hat worked in the round with a subtle repeating stitch pattern. It's quiet, clever, and extremely wearable. I love this hat. I think it's adorable. If I had to give my preferences on this one, I would say that I feel like in the photos here, it looks a touch too big, and I'm not super keen on the way that it looks on the reverse side. I know that Andrea Mowry in the description of this hat mentions that it is just as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside, and I have to disagree in my own personal preferences. I much prefer the right side of the fabric. That's just my preference. and it really doesn't matter because you can wear the hat any way you want. But that is the quill by Andrea Mowry, and that is a hat I am knitting in February. The hat for March is part of the Domes Around the World collection by Hinton Stein, and this is the Paris hat. This version of Domes Around the World features a repeating geometric texture inspired by the dome of Sacré-Cœur in Paris. Since no specific city was chosen when we did this randomly, I took my liberties and went with Paris because it was the one that I loved the most, visually speaking. This next hat is the April hat. April is my birth month. This is going to be the month of my 42nd birthday. And I don't know why, but this hat just kind of feels appropriate. I really don't know why. It's just I look at this hat and I think, aw, what a great hat for my 42nd birthday. It's very schmaltzy, I'm sorry. This is the Braided Hearts beanie by Jill DeMarco. Braided Hearts beanie is worked bottom up and uses slip stitch motifs arranged into a soft heart pattern, almost like little V shapes. The slip stitches read clearly without feeling heavy or bulky, which makes this a nice bridge between winter and spring knitting. Still cozy, but lighter in spirit. This next one is one I have also had my eye on because it is one that I see a lot when I see Kelborn Woolens yarn. And for May, we have the March hat. The March hat is a bottom-up hat with a tubular cast on and a subtle seersucker stitch pattern that creates quiet texture without a lot of visual noise. And a bonus, this is a free pattern on Ravelry. This next hat is really adorable because it came out in 2013 and it embodies everything that was popular with knit hats in 2013. It has that kind of oversized, very slouchy vibe. And just so 2010s. It's just so 2010s, right? Like 2013 all the way up until like 2019 when things started getting more like cone-heady. And it's by Brienne Elise Miller and it is called the Grasshopper hat. Grasshopper is a very traditional hat worked bottom up using garter stitch and ribbing. It's unfussy and familiar, which makes it perfect for summer knitting when attention and energy tend to wander a bit. And again, it just goes right back to those 2010s and is very nostalgic. I just stuck my fingers all the way into my tea to get the tea bags out because it was getting a little bitter. It's still delicious though, but my lord. Okay, back at it. July's hat is actually, I feel like it's placed really well in the middle of the year because by the time you finish it, you can like tuck it away and have it for winter and fall because it's a perfect fall winter hat in my opinion, and it is called the Everfrost. This is also a free Ravelry download and it's by Rachel Brockman. Everfrost is a bottom-up hat with cable columns, a folded brim, and distinctive crown shaping. It has a very winter forward look and feels quite intentional. One of those projects that asks for a bit more focus. It's about time that we get to some color work, and August is going to bring us color work in spades. I absolutely love this hat. It's one I've had in my favorites bundles. Like I think I have it in a few different favorites bundles for a long time. I think ever since it was released. And that is the Flicker and Flame hat by Andrea Mowry. The Flicker and Flame came out in 2021, and it's a bottom-up stranded colorwork hat with charted motifs and a strong visual payoff. It's a great way to play with color without the weight of a larger project, and it works well for stash exploration or intentional contrast. Okay, this next one is really cute. It's one I wouldn't have picked for myself, really, only because I don't know if it would have called to me shape-wise prior to having longer hair. I know that sounds really superficial, but it really does make a difference when it comes to hats. This is called the Little Fisherman's Beanie and it's by Svart Lamb. This is a classic 1x1 ribbed fisherman style beanie worked bottom up and wearable either cuffed or uncuffed. It's sturdy, practical, and endlessly wearable. Very much a knit it once, wear it forever kind of hat. October is a month of revisiting Andrea Mowry. Where are we at? Is this the third Andrea Mowry hat? Again, random. Wheel of Chaos. I didn't choose these myself, but this hat is one I really, really love. And this style of hat is one that I reach for in my own hat wardrobe time and time again. And that is the Harlow by Andrea Mowry. Harlow uses a 2-color brioche technique to create a plush, high contrast fabric. It's designed to be approachable for knitters new to brioche. And once you get into the rhythm, it's very satisfying and well suited to cozy season knitting. I'm excited about this because I've never done brioche ever. And I feel like this is a really great way to break into that technique because it's a very approachable project. Just like she says in the description of the pattern, it's a fantastic way to break into the technique of brioche, small, low commitment. It's just what I need. The next hat that will be knit, which is going to be for November, is one I know you've heard of. I mean, I would assume that you must have heard of this hat. It's all over the knitting community. Everybody wants to knit one. Everybody has knit one. Everybody's considering knitting one. People who have knit one are going to knit another one. It's just one of those hats. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And that is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. Musselburgh is worked from the crown outward, creating a double-layered reversible hat. It's swatchless, highly customizable, and incredibly warm. It's a true workhorse pattern. The next and last hat in the lineup I think is really appropriate for December knitting. This is the Fleet by Tin Can Knits. Fleet is a bottom-up stranded colorwork cap with charted motifs that feel playful and approachable. It's originally from Strange Brew, and it's pitched as a great first foray in traditional colorwork. Perfect for using favorite contrasting yarns and getting comfortable with Fair Isle techniques. The shape is classic and unisex, and the stranded colorwork gives it a cheerful texture, rich finish without being overwhelming. So there you have it, 12 hats I'm penciling in for the new year. Some of these I'm really excited about. Some of these I'm neutrally curious about, and a few of them, like I said, will rely entirely on mood, timing, and yarn. And that feels like a very honest way to plan a knitting year. If you'd like to knit along more closely, the Wool Needles Hands Year of Hats Knit Along is happening over on Patreon. We would love to have you, and your support is so greatly appreciated. It's designed to be flexible, low pressure, and genuinely comforting. But even if Patreon is just not for you right now, and you like to watch your content right here in YouTube, that is fantastic. I hope that this video gives you a few solid ideas to take away and some really great suggestions for hats that might work for your knitting year. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Happy New Year. I know I took a couple weeks off to spend that time with my family for the holiday. I appreciate your patience. I am happy to be back. I've got some really great videos lined up. I'm doing obviously lots of hat knitting, but I have things I want to share, and it's always good to get back into the swing of things after the new year. I hope you're all well. Happy 2026. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.